figured with all these rumors about the Mario 35th Anniversary Collection going around, and of course the recent Amazon leak for Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword on the Switch, I figured I would want to talk about games that I would like to see get HD remasters or remakes, specifically from Nintendo. Now when Nintendo does HD remasters, they don't really remake games in HD necessarily. They just sort of upscale them to HD so that way they look good on an HD television, like Twilight Princess HD or Wind Waker HD. But the games that I'm going to be talking about today, I would like to see true HD remakes. We're talking like the Crash Insane Trilogy level of HD remaster. Which I doubt we will see anything like this from Nintendo, but it's nice to dream. So I just figured I'd throw together this little list. Now, these games are in no particular order. It's not like this is a, worst to best list or anything like that. Just generally, I'm going to be shooting games out there that I want to see get HD remasters. Maybe, who knows, Nintendo will actually, want to make money and jump on this. Who knows? But without further ado, let's get into it. Right off the bat, I want to come into this list guns a-blazing.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bah! Bah!
I think that the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy from the SNES deserves an HD remake really, really bad. The Donkey Kong Country series is legendary, especially the SNES trilogy. Rare had crafted some of the best platformers of the era, and these games single-handedly cemented Rare as a household name in the 90s. Nintendo just doesn't seem to want to acknowledge the Donkey Kong Country series very much nowadays, which is a real shame, because they really downplay how legendary this game series is, and how much the game series practically saved the SNES, and really put Nintendo ahead of its competitors at the time. The Country Trilogy is known for its challenging platforming, its really fun characters and designs, and of course its music. All of which I would love to see get completely rebuilt in an HD engine. And of course, I wouldn't mind seeing the game as it was originally intended either. I'm not talking about new Donkey Kong models from the current games, like from Tropical Freeze, inserted into the original trilogy. I'm talking about maybe even seeing the classic sprites done as they originally were, just in HD. Sort of like what they did with The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, where they actually make new models that look like the old renders. I think that that would be absolutely fantastic, and I would love to see the Donkey Kong Country Trilogy brought up to HD. Will we ever see that? No, probably not. But it's nice to imagine that we could see something like that. There are plenty of videos on YouTube of creators doing Unreal Engine Donkey Kong Country stuff, and it just blows me away. It really makes me yearn to see something like this actually come from Nintendo. Until then, I guess we'll just have to settle for the fan stuff, until Nintendo inevitably steps in and shuts them down. The next game that I feel should be getting an HD remaster, which should come as a surprise to absolutely nobody, is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yeah, I know, they got remakes for Ocarina of Time already on the 3DS, but those aren't HD remasters. However, I would like to see an HD remaster in the same vein as the remakes for the 3DS. Now, I will also lump Majora's Mask into this as well, because I enjoy both of those games, and I feel like both of them would highly benefit from HD remasters, but especially Ocarina of Time. A true remake of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time has probably been one of the most requested things from Nintendo for years. For literal years. And again, yes, they did give it to us on the 3DS, but a lot of people want to play them on an actual home console. People want an HD Ocarina of Time. It's something that I think most of the gaming community really wants. Even non-Nintendo fans want a remake of Ocarina of Time. It's just such a legendary game, and I know I'm using legendary a lot already in this, but a lot of these games really cannot be summed up in anything else but that word. They were huge for their time, and they have made a legacy that is lasting all the way to today. And Ocarina of Time is definitely one of those games. It's the game that single-handedly set the precedent for every single 3D Legend of Zelda game from that point forward. It's a benchmark in a series that still to this day is one of Nintendo's biggest. And it just shocks the hell out of me that Nintendo has yet to do a true home console remake of Ocarina of Time, a game that so many people love. It's like the Final Fantasy VII of Nintendo. It's the game that so many people love it. It still to this day ranks as #1 for a lot of people, and it just blows my mind that Nintendo has not yet taken advantage of and did this already. And again, Majora's Mask is also lumped into this, which I feel is a really nice game to just go along with Ocarina of Time. It's got the darker atmosphere. It was a very unique Zelda game, and it still is to this day very unique. So both of these games, I feel, deserve HD remakes, and I would absolutely love to see that. The next game on the list, and this one's kind of cheating a little bit, especially with the Mario 35th Anniversary thing, but the next game on the list that I would really think deserves an HD remaster, a true HD remake, is Mario Sunshine. Now, it is possible that we'll be getting a HD remastered Mario Sunshine sooner than we think, but again, I don't think that this is going to be a built from the ground up remake of Mario Sunshine. It's just going to be a Mario Sunshine that has been scaled up in HD, and obviously it will look better, but I would like to see Mario Sunshine's visuals redone in HD. Think about if we had a Mario Sunshine that was on the level of Mario Odyssey. It would be beautiful. Mario Sunshine is one of the most unique Mario games in the entire series. It was really, really different. It was one of those games that I feel like at the time a lot of people didn't care for it, but as time goes by, more and more people are really in love with Sunshine. And everything about it was just so fun. The setting, the tropical island, and cleaning it up, and flood, and all that stuff. It was just really fun and unique. And it's a game that I feel like was just so gorgeous back on the GameCube, and now, and again, we may be getting an HD remaster of it, but it's still gonna have that older look to it. I don't know. I want to see an Odyssey level Sunshine. Now, obviously, that could be done with a sequel, and that's possible we could get a sequel as well, which is fine. But being that this is about remasters and remakes, that's what I would really like to see. I would love to see Mario Sunshine get a true remake. I think it would be absolutely amazing. The water and everything would be gorgeous, and I know a certain somebody on Twitter who would absolutely love that. So, yes, I think that Mario Sunshine should get a remake. I would really love to see it, and I definitely think it deserves an HD remaster over Mario 64, which, don't get me wrong, I love Mario 64, but when you look at games like Galaxy and Odyssey, Mario 64 getting a HD remaster seems kind of redundant because it's pretty basic compared to those games. But Sunshine is just so unique, I feel like it would really benefit from getting a remaster. And from one GameCube game to another, the next game that I would like to see a true HD remake of, though I guess I should once again say games, would be the Metroid Prime Trilogy. Now, yes, we've all heard the rumors that there will be a Metroid Prime HD coming, and we've heard it for years. And while we did get Metroid Prime HD sort of on the Wii U, I'm talking about an HD Metroid Prime more akin to the Master Chief Collection in terms of the difference in graphics. I want to see a graphically upgraded Metroid Prime Trilogy. And yes, we are getting Metroid Prime 4, but wouldn't it be great to be able to go back and play those original Metroid Prime games with redone visuals before we get to jump into Metroid Prime 4? And let's face it, Metroid Prime 4 is going to take so goddamn long that they could probably release Metroid Prime games with redone visuals, and we still wouldn't be near Metroid Prime 4's release. But with all joking aside, I think that the Metroid Prime series absolutely deserves HD remasters. The games were fantastic, and really elevated the Metroid series in terms of popularity with a lot of people. The Metroid Prime series single-handedly made the Metroid series a much more popular Nintendo IP, and I definitely think for that reason alone, Retro Studios' original Metroid Prime games more than deserve proper HD remakes. Moving right along to the next series I think should get HD remasters, the Mother series. Yes, the entire thing, and that includes bringing Mother 3 over to the United States and, of course, giving it an HD remaster. Now, that may seem a little unfair considering that we never got the original, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that would want the original game over getting an HD remaster of a game that we never got. But in my eyes, getting an HD remake of Mother 3 is just as good, if not a little bit better. I would love to play the Mother games in HD completely redone. I just think it would be amazing. They're already fantastic games that have beautiful stories, and being able to see these games with redone visuals would be absolutely sensational. Now, of course, there is the thing with the battle portraits in Mother, how they're static and they don't really move much. But if they're HD remasters, perhaps we could get a little bit more animations during battles and things like that. Hell, they might even be able to just redo the battles so that way it looks more akin to the current Final Fantasy titles where we can see our characters on screen actually fighting and see their abilities, something like that. I think that would be really amazing. And I think that would make the Mother series a lot more popular over here in the States if they gave it a proper HD remake. And I'm talking about from Mother 1 all the way to 3. The whole shebang. It could be in one collection, or it could be games that they release over time. No matter what, I think that the Mother series more than deserves HD remasters. It's such a beautiful series with a beautiful story, and it's personally a game series that I would really like to dive into a lot more. And honestly, proper HD remasters would just make it all the more tempting for me, and I'm sure a whole lot of other people, to jump in and experience such a wonderful game series. Finally, the last game that I would like to talk about today, that I would like to see an HD remaster of, is Star Fox Assault. This may be a shocker for some people, because Star Fox Assault is a game that doesn't really get talked about too much. But honestly, it's a game that I really loved on the GameCube, and personally, I feel like it was one of the most unique Star Fox games in the entire series, Star Fox Adventures aside. Star Fox Assault definitely changed the way we played Star Fox, with us coming out of our ships and being like a third-person shooter. It was definitely really interesting. The problems with Star Fox Assault were the controls. A lot of people said they were really sloppy and stuff like that, but the game itself was pretty damn good, which really was only bogged down by the negative controls. Star Fox lately has just been absolutely shit on. The poor guy had Star Fox Zero come out, which I think may have single-handedly almost killed his franchise. So I think doing an HD remaster of one of his older games, specifically Assault over the original Star Fox or Star Fox 64, because again, the original Star Fox game has been redone to death. We get the original story, it's very exciting, but we don't need it redone 100 billion times. Star Fox Assault would be something completely fresh and new for the series, generally, and it would be a great blast from the past. I honestly think it's something that the Star Fox series would need. Its gameplay was different enough to warrant a modern release, in my opinion. And again, it's one of those GameCube era games that a lot of people liked growing up, and I think it would be welcomed if they did an HD remaster for it. And it would be nice to see Star Fox get something decent for once. But anyway, that was my list. What did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Are there games that you want to see in HD that I didn't mention? If there are, let me know down in the comments below, whatever your opinion is, or whatever games you want to see. If you really like this video, feel free to give it a like, share it if you want, and if you really like this video, feel free to subscribe. I put out gaming videos every single week. I try to talk about all different subjects and all different games. I'm really trying to expand my horizons with games and different companies. I'm not just trying to focus on only Nintendo. I'm trying to focus on pretty much everybody and the games that I like from all different companies. If you also really like what I talk about here, feel free to follow me on Twitter. I like to go on Twitter a few times a day and bitch and complain about various games here and there, and sometimes I like to put out a witty tweet once in a while. But if you think what I talk about is exciting, then feel free to follow me on there. No matter what, I really hope you enjoyed this video. And even if you don't subscribe, just watching this video means more to me than you could ever know. So thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.